Record. Hello, everyone. Marhaba. I'm Dr. Kambiz. Welcome to the Biz with Kambiz. Uh, First of all, Happy New Year. It's the year of the snake. This means good luck in Chinese, I'm told. So wishing everyone great success and happiness. And it's a pleasure to welcome my guest, Maxim. Maxim is in Dubai, and we're going to talk with him about what he's doing in the sector, what brought him to Dubai. Maxim, thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for inviting and Happy New Year. Yeah, so
Thank you. Maxim, before we dig into things, could you give an overview of your company and the kinds of projects you're working on here in UAE?
yeah, sure. If I ask you who predicts like a flu epidemics nowadays, you would most likely reply WHO. But it's actually Google does it because they have data. Like when people go to hospitals or just Google, some doctors like they have the data and they actually share this data with WHO. So we actually collect and you we collect and transform animal reproduction data into profitability of farmers. Um,
Kind
we
of, can
transform any
you
smartphone.
can
Yeah,
you
yeah. We
repeat that?
transform
What kind of data
what-
do you gather?
animal reproduction.
Okay.
Animal reproduction. So we are developing cell analysis software as an app for any smartphone. And eventually, any specialist would be able to upload a short video and get instant information about quality of reproductive cells of this particular biomaterial and keep this data, to make decisions uh, in
So
terms of
quality of
use it like
reproductive cells, you mean sperm,
semen, yeah, animal semen. Uh,
semen.
yeah.
And which animals do you work with?
Uh, I mean, being in the middle of the desert, camels go first. Yeah, it's obviously it's unique and I would say even animal aliens. But the technology is universal, and we make it as universal as possible. So it actually uh, work for horses, falcons, sheep, goats, cattle, even fish, and etc. So we're actually covering half of the living creatures on the planet who create the new offspring, having this reproductive system and reproductive cells. So yeah.
That's fascinating. So it's applicable to all these species. Have you already worked with semen from all of these species, like falcon semen?
Yeah, we are having this pilot project for camels, cattle, and goats so far.
Animals get. And is your work focused exclusively in the UAE, or is it, or do you have collaborations in the other Arab Gulf states or internationally?
Not collaboration. We've got interest and clients from all over the world: Australia, Jordan, Iran, Chile, US. So it's just a few clients I actually managed to reach basically through LinkedIn. But yeah, we will. I mean, uh, the UAE is our pilot project, but the market of GCC is like a 20x like a bigger, and we will go and we will spread the technology across the GCC first, and then we'll go global. I mean, it's as an app, it should be done and will be done this way.
So, and if I understand you monitor, you assess the quality of semen so that farmers can know, is this batch good for reproductive purposes? And because it's on a phone app, your technology can be, implemented anywhere, even in a remote desert setting.
Sounds absolutely right. So yeah, as soon as you get the phone, and as for now, we of course we need kind of device to get a zoom. So this is a simple microscope I've got so far, and a new actually adapter that allows us to actually mount a smartphone to a microscope, but it's a simple one. It's just like a 100, like a 200, like a dollars. Simple device like this. It's like a $50. But eventually, yeah, it's just like to get like a this like a zoom in properly. This like a proper magnification to be able to make a video. As for now, but it's like in a few years, it's going to be a pocket-sized lens like this. So
Great.
we'll actually change like this with like a mount device like to this one. But like we are not hardware company. We're still looking for the best devices available on the market. So it's a testing procedure.
And Maxim, what brought you to, this sector for biotech, for medtech, for lots of things in the life sciences sector and biotech sector is relatively new. You've been here for about 2 years, right?
Uh, we we pivoted to biotech 2 years back.
Right.
Yes.
And what was your journey? Why did you come to Dubai? What attracted you to this region? What path did you take? I think you were before working in Texas as well, right?
Yes, correct. I don't know like how to like to describe the story, to tell the story like in a few words, but I spent like 12 years in innovation of chemicals for in oil and gas industry. And yes, I have worked in Texas for 2 years in 2014, 2016. As soon as I get back to Russia from Texas, it was like in the middle of oil and gas crisis, very, very heavy. I got the idea, so the world is bigger, just like one country, and I need to go back, not to the US, but like to go the worldwide. And actually, Dubai was one of the options to expand the technology, but that time I didn't even know like what we will do. Um,
Yeah,
Again,
that's a
working in
big shift from oil and gas and from the chemicals industry to fertility
yes.
and your goal now, like you say on your website, is to save also all endangered species where your technology can be applied to help fertility in all kinds of living creatures.
Yeah, we are doing it actually in partnership with Fujera Genetics or Fujera Cloning Center. There is a Dr. Olaf and Brandon, the very magical, I would say, guys, gents, like they got this like a huge trial bank, and all of like of Olaf is the ultimate goal to collect as many samples of animals around the world and like to freeze it.
Right.
So it's a partner, and actually we're releasing a new website in a couple of, I guess like tomorrow. It's almost ready, so it should be um, clear uh, clear offer for reproduction centers, fertilization labs, and even farmers. What they can achieve with their like a smartphone and our app installed.
So how did this come about? So you were doing work in the chemical industry and the oil and gas industry. What was the how did you transition to animal fertility? And did this idea come up while you were in Dubai, or did you bring it into Dubai? Like, did you already know what you were working on when you came here?
I would say the core two words here is computer vision. We actually started a computer vision company to develop safety and security platforms for oil and gas rigs back in Russia. We actually brought this technology like to the market, to the GCC market, and like to Dubai particularly. But however, we understood so without like a proper network connections, it would be hard. And there is like a difference in this like a video analytics market compare what we have in Russia. So it seemed to me almost impossible to get the contract and to survive. And we've been looking for as a startup again like to a solution to apply this computer vision. Um, Initially, we came up to we had an IT specialist, IT ML developer who worked and developed their own algorithm for protein engineering. and we dig up and we've been really digging up for almost 6 months this field. And eventually this understanding what Rosetta does and AlphaFold, they released 200 millions of protein, saying as a gift to the humans. So that was actually the first touch of the biotech. However, it was so complicated, and we didn't have at the time a biotech director who would lead us. We tried ourselves for 6 months. I mean, it's impossible to do it in the field without a proper one. And then invited one advisor, and actually she said that what else do you have? Because in protein engineering, it's a kind of not complicated, even a dangerous field if you don't do it properly. And we say okay, we've got something else. It's computer vision. We can apply it in different fields. And actually, she advised us to zoom in from the micro object. I mean, humans like us, to check if there is a head, helmet, or something to this a cell level. And eventually, reproductive cells came up as well studied, available, and available a biomaterial, which has a huge potential for us to grow as a startup again. And we actually started with a request from IVF clinic to automate the process for humans, for men. After we've heard a lot of no from both clients and but mostly from investors. They didn't like the size of the market, and they said it's not possible, and again you need to have this FDA approval to go to the market. It's again money and time, and you don't have it right now. The technology is raw, blah blah. So it was thousands of no's in terms of going to and help humans helping us. However, there are no such barriers for animals in most of the countries.
Mhm.
And we say, okay, let's switch and let's find out through the network. We started calling and did a lot of job, calling the labs, speaking to them, understanding if there is any problem with reproduction technologies for animals. And it wasn't more than 50 labs or centers. So we did some job, and we found this pattern. So it's the same. You have to pay a lot to be able to order some really nice equipment and do it. However, they need just two simple parameters to get to make a decision and to have this data. And we say okay, there is a pattern. Sounds like a problem. Let's dig it up and let's continue. Let's
So
continue developing this field.
yeah, one not to take too much time. One, I'd like to switch to a different topic also. You've
Yeah.
worked in the US and Russia and now in UAE. What are your thoughts about the sector in the UAE, where it's going? Like, is this where you imagine staying for a while? For people who might be watching where they're curious about the sector in the UAE, what would you share for them as they consider maybe relocating here?
Yeah. I would wear a deep tech. And in terms of this, we what we've seen, it's a huge switch to support companies like us in terms of deep tech. I'm talking about grants. They announced one AI grant last year with the Future Foundation Fund, and it's going to be one more fund. So we applied for grant there, and we will apply for grant here. But it's extremely complicated from extremely complicated to raise funds as a deep tech company. But I would say it's not impossible to do, but yeah. So the level of understanding is a bit different. However, there are a smart, a deep tech, a people everywhere. So uh, But eventually, yeah, yeah. It like mostly it will take some time like to get more risk for investors like in the region. It mostly like a dividend like a model of investing. When you have a really good business and you want to scale up, you will definitely get money. Just like a traction, you have traction, you prove that, but it's still like it's a matter of time to get this like a credit, to get trust to yourself first of all. So yeah, but like
And
it's switching.
in your own case, do you feel like you will anchor and stay here, or are you still considering your options worldwide?
No, we will, but like uh, we will have an HQ here for sure, but we will expand our like solution.
And what
It can
about
be done. Like yeah.
in this region, both UAE and Saudi are looking at this space and what they can build. What are have you started explorations also in Saudi, and what would you share about the two different countries and their approaches? What are the pluses and minuses?
Yeah, I'm not a big expert in Saudi. Our first visit happened like last year, last December. We were invited, like we were selected by 500 Global for 5 days, like a boot camp. They performed like in Riyadh. Um, uh, but we got like a two main advices. First of all, develop your app and come back. It's interesting. We've never seen the project like this. And the second, do rebranding. Be serious. It's about like a 40,000 like a farmers who may need your technology, but like be serious, come back and like do proper marketing and like a switch to Arabic as well. It's like a
Well,
two main advice. I say like, wow, wow, that's nice. That's nice. Even like today, I read this like a news that Saudi backed a startup from US with like a $200 million check, which that actually working on reproduction of extincted species like mammoth and one. So they see this like they want. It's like I don't remember the name of the company, but it's a US company and yeah.
one last
Again.
question,
Mhm.
Maxim, really just an opportunity. If there's anything we didn't cover that you wanted to share, leave it to you to close out the discussion.
I would definitely want like to talk about technology. The last feedback I got after speaking with one of the fund here, so it's impossible what we are telling about, like to put everything like in the app to get the accuracy of 95%, to be able to do it like with just smartphone and a pocket lens. So I would definitely would love to like to speak, especially even right now when like a DeepSeek crashed this like the trade market the in US having a different approach, and we were talking to possible like investors here that we are working on this. It's all about to remove all the trash. You don't need all the information from the video. It's just like some simple, not simple, some particular things like we need to extract and to use like this data, like to give you final parameters. So I would love to speak about technology like next episode, I would say, if there is one.
That sounds great. Maxim, thank you for making time in your busy schedule. I'll post this soon, and when you have a chance, send me your website, your email, anything you want me to include in the caption so that people who are interested can get in touch and also see a summary of your work. And I love your marketing and branding. For anyone who hasn't seen it, go to the website for Avare. How do you say it? The company name Avare
Yeah,
Bio?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Avare, yeah.
Of our biotech. It has a lot of spirit and energy. And thank you for making time
Thank
for
you.
the chat today.
Yeah, thank you, Kambiz. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Take
Hasta
care.
luego.
Bye.
Bye.